one time this guy asked if he could put me in a submission. I was like, sure, you know, I'll get out, whatever. And he put me in it, and as I was in it, he slapped me on the ass, like, you know, taunting. And I flipped out. Like, I was like, what? I switched, got right behind him, put him in a rear naked choke, started choking him out, and I go, get to the ropes. Like, I'm not letting go. Like, get to the ropes, or I'm going to choke you out. And his rope break, I had to let go, so I let go on 4. He rolled out of the ring, caught his breath, and came back in. I was like, don't embarrass me, you know?
Yeah,
I'm a UFC, I'm a world champion.
Well, did you have your fingernails painted when he slapped you on that?
No, he didn't. You know, now I understand.
I might want to slap you on that if your fingernails.
I get it, man, with the long hair and the nails, you know.
What does that mean? You like men?
I mean, I like some, I like you, you know.
Hey, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Fishing with David Lucas. And today on Fishing with David Lucas, we got professional wrestler, former MMA UFC fighter, Matthew Riddle.
What's up? Yeah, thanks for having me, bro.
Bro, before the camera started rolling, you showed me that crazy ass knockout that you had where you broke that dude's jaw. In how many places?
I broke his jaw in 3 spots and gave him level 3 amnesia.
Whatever that means.
Couldn't remember anything
for a
while. You know?
Yeah, he was
Is there a technique to this rod? Do I have to hold something to cast that?
All right, so all right, right here. Pull the string back. What's your other finger? What's your throwing finger? All right, so turn the bezel over.
And the bezel is this?
No. This part. Turn that over with your other hand.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Now chunk it out.
All right. And then
just throw it out. See? Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then just flip it over.
Flip it back?
Yep.
Here?
There you go.
All right. Righty tighty, one direction.
Yeah,
that's
so you just that's a shrimp, let it do its job.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
You got a post up?
You put it in your chair, wherever.
I'll figure this out. All right. Look at that.
There we go.
We're fishing.
Now. We're fishing now, bro.
That's great.
It's so crazy. All you guys who know how to fight and never know how to fish.
Well, you know, I've only been fishing a handful of times, and I think I'm just a man of action, you know? You know, I don't like waiting around. I'm a little impatient. So,
for real?
Yeah, you know? I like things now, you know?
I feel it.
I think that's why I like America, you know, because I've traveled all over the world, and a lot of places, they close down at 10. It's done, like a small town. But here, you know, 24-hour gas stations, stuff like that, you know?
True.
Action. Walmart, you know?
Walmart, they still sell them 24/7?
A lot of them do. A lot of them do.
Because a lot of them started closing at like 11 during COVID.
Yeah, well, I'm not respecting that, you know.
A good late night Florida Walmart run is some of the most entertaining.
Yeah, well, also the characters you run into
exactly.
at that time
That's
of
why
day.
it's so entertaining.
I did that a lot in college.
Yeah,
you know?
where'd you go to college?
East Stroudsburg University in Pennsylvania. Yeah, it was right on the border of Jersey and right by the Poconos in Pennsylvania, which is like where everybody from New York goes to
vacation.
Yeah, to go to the woods, but it's, you know, it's normal. And yeah, but a lot of interesting characters from the mountains and in the city, and you know, quite the melting pot.
Yeah. Hell yeah, bro. How'd you get your background in fighting? Did you wrestle in college?
I wrestled in high school and college. I was big into pro wrestling growing up, you know, but when you're 13 years old, you can't really go around hitting people with chairs and doing stuff like that. So
we used to do that in the backyard.
Yeah, me too, you know, but you can't get in college with that or anything else. So when I was in high school, my older brother had a bunch of friends that were on the varsity team, and I would wrestle them on the trampoline and they'd beat the crap out of me. And I was like, you know what? I should probably start doing this. Plus a lot of other pro wrestlers did amateur wrestling. So I just felt like it was, if I was going to go this path and just say professional mixed martial arts or professional wrestling, this was...
Which one took off first, UFC?
Yeah.
Because you were on the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, but I was on the Ultimate Fighter season 7, I think 2007 or 2008.
And that's when you broke the dude's jaw.
Yep.
It's so funny you said you met him a few months later and he said the only reason you knocked him out was because he didn't have his nasal strips.
Yeah, well, you know, I would imagine if you got knocked out and you didn't remember what happened for a couple months and you kind of come to, and he's from Massachusetts, so he was in Vegas when I knocked him out. He had multiple jaw surgeries, his jaw's wired, and he comes 2 months later and he's like, what happened? And he didn't even know what happened until the night before I saw him the next time, because the night before I saw him, before that tryout that we were at, was the episode of us fighting, and it aired that day. So he never saw the fight. He didn't know what happened other than from what his friends said or other people that were there on the show.
When I watched that knockout, dude, I probably would have retired.
He did. I think
it was vicious.
Yeah, and I think people don't realize, because there's, you know, everything's edited for TV. But when I knocked him out, he dropped, and then he was out cold for like probably 5-10 minutes, and the doctors are like, he's not waking up, and they're trying to use smelling salt and everything. And then when he finally woke up, there was that blood-curdling scream. Yeah. And then all the doctors are like, this isn't normal. And I even went, Herb Dean was the ref. And I go, Herb, is this normal? And he's like, no. And I was like, oh man. And then Dana White's over there like, yeah, you know, you just killed a guy on TV for me, sweet. And at the time I was like, hell yeah, dude, I'm in, you know? Because that was also the first season where you didn't just get picked to go on the show. You got picked, but then you had to fight to get into the house. Wow. So that fight was just to get into the house. And
who was your coach?
My coach was Rampage.
That's why you broke his jaw.
Yeah, dude, Rampage, and he would always call me Chipper. I almost fought Rampage once because he would call me Chipper, and I was having a bad day once, and he called me Chipper, and I had a chip in my front tooth at the time. I got in a fight in college, and it was chipped, and he called me Chipper, and I was like, yo, what the fuck, dude? Like, you keep calling me Chipper. Like, why do you call me that? Like, stop insulting me. And he goes, call you Chipper because you're always smiling, man. You're happy, you're chipper.
And you thought it was because of your chip?
Yeah, I thought it was my chip too. I was like, oh man, my bad, dude. He's like, yeah. He's like, shut the hell up. And like, plus he could beat me up.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's Rampage Jackson.
Yeah, he's crazy.
He's a legend.
Yeah, he is.
I'm actually gonna see him in a couple weeks. We're doing it's like a wrestling convention thing, but a lot of MMA guys do it too. So I haven't seen him in probably like 10 years.
Oh wow. Yeah, he's supposed to do my podcast. Yeah.
He's entertaining.
Yeah.
I will say this, great dude to hang out with. Probably one of the worst coaches you can have.
For real?
Well, because like he's got a lot of natural ability, you know, and when you're a coach and you got to like push people and drive them, and he's a very laid back kind of dude.
Wow, I see.
Yeah. Right.
Would you ever be a coach?
Yeah. Well, right now I coach, and I used to coach when I fought in the UFC, but I coach jiu-jitsu like every Wednesday in Orlando at Rudos Jiu-Jitsu. Rudos. R-U-D-O-S. I don't know what it means, but it sounds, you know, I don't own the gym, you know, I just teach there, you know, stay in shape and have fun.
Yeah. And you're still currently wrestling, right?
Yeah, I actually wrestled I don't know when this airs, but I wrestle in Atlanta for MLW. I'm defending my heavyweight championship there against Alex Kane and Kojima-san, Japanese legend.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
Yeah. It's all crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I used to watch wrestling growing up. I remember when because there's no more WCW?
No more WCW. They lost the Monday Night Wars, you know?
Yeah, to WW. But isn't WWE like a conglomerate of WCW and WWF?
Well, WWE now owns like the whole library and everything, WCW. Okay. They own ECW.
Because it used to be WWF and WCW.
Yep. And then the World Wildlife Federation won the lawsuit, and then it became...
Hold on, what?
Yeah, I know. Everybody knows what World Wrestling Federation is, but they had to change their name because the Worldwide Wildlife Foundation had the name first, WWF. So they had a lawsuit and they won. So then they had to change it to World Wrestling Entertainment.
Did they have to pay the Worldwide? I
would imagine. I don't know the logistics of it, but I do know they had to change their name. So there's probably some kind of settlement reached.
So you met Vince McMahon?
I have. I worked hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder.
How do you feel about the documentary they released about him?
Well, you know, I watched it. I'm not surprised. I didn't, you know, like if you watch professional wrestling over the last couple decades, his character was portrayed on TV. You know, that's who he is. He was a super power hungry boss that was in control of everything. And pro wrestling is that.
Now
really.
Triple H is over it, right?
Triple H is there. Triple H is a great guy. I think Vince is a great guy. He's great to work with. You know, I think he has a great mind for everything. And Triple H has an excellent mind for everything. And they also have Shawn Michaels working.
Shawn Michaels works?
Oh, dude, Shawn Michaels works Heartbreak Kid, dude. He was my coach at NXT.
Oh wow!
So that's like the feeder. You know, you start in NXT when you get there, and then you start working with guys.
What's
like
NXT?
NXT is the feeder system for WWE.
So where do y'all wrestle at?
So that's all in Orlando.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you get hired by NXT, which is owned by WWE, you move to Orlando, you start working there, and then you start going through the process to make your way to.
But I'm saying, like, the NXT wrestling matches, they're just for people in Orlando to watch?
No, they're on live TV.
Oh, okay.
I think they're on the CW now.
Oh,
there's a lot of, with all the streaming platforms, there's a lot of back and forth. So it's kind
of like the Forum League in baseball.
Yeah.
Okay.
So exactly, it's, you know, these guys are going to be tomorrow's stars,
right,
you know,
right.
And that it's just that feeder league to put them through the process,
right,
you know.
Right.
So yeah.
I like that. That's pretty dope.
It's definitely way different than it used to be. You know, it used to be, you know, you work all around the world and you kind of go into the company with, like, unless people are watching hardcore, they don't know who you are.
Right.
Now the indies also, like where I wrestle, have blown up a lot, where there's a lot of eyes, especially with all the streaming platforms,
right.
You know?
And social media.
Yeah, back in the day, you could only watch wrestling at 9 o'clock on USA Network. Now you can go on YouTube and watch probably 100 of my matches from last year.
Right.
You know? And because it's pro wrestling, you can stay as active as that, right?
And you took off in the UFC first, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And how long were you in the UFC?
So in the UFC from 2007 to 2013.
Oh, 6 years.
Yeah.
Was the money decent? All right.
The money was decent, but it depended. It wasn't because of what I got paid to show up or got paid to win. The money was decent because I would, like, hunt for bonuses. So, like, I would get paid 8 and 8. 8,000 to show up, 8,000 to win, and then taxes, trainers. I'm walking away like maybe $6,000 3 times a year. That's $18,000 a year. But if I go into a fight and then Dana comes in the locker room and goes, hey, huge fight card, $100,000 bonus. Well, it doesn't matter if I lose the fight, if I get fight of the night or anything, right. They're going to pay me more. And with my experience with the UFC, I would go on win streaks, keep the same pay. I would lose fights, but they'd be fight of the night. And they would re-sign me to a new contract for more money, and I'd usually get a bonus too. Even if I didn't get the fight of the night bonus, I got like a bonus. Like, and we would call those shower checks. So like, hey, you did good. You really fought there. You know, you spilled some blood.
Oh, okay.
You know, because at the end of the day, it's professional fighting. It's a sport, but it's also entertainment. Like we were talking about Derek Lewis earlier.
Right.
And maybe not the greatest fighter, but dude, entertaining when he gets on the microphone. He's fun, he's relatable, and he sells tickets, you know? And he fights exciting too, and that's a big thing. He's swinging for knockouts, right. You know? If he just held people and took them down.
You wouldn't like it.
Exactly.
So you didn't have this persona when you were in the UFC?
No, I wasn't the bro. I was very much so, I don't know, you tried to not ruffle the feathers. Also, I feel like when I was in the UFC, it was kind of a different era. I feel like there was a lot more respect for one another and other fighters. Mm-hmm. Well, now I feel like, dude, the shit talking I hear amongst fighters, I'm like, oh my God, like, you know, it's intense, you know? Yeah. But even when I was there, people would do it, like they'd say they'd piss on you or something. I've had fans threaten to throw like cum on me in shows.
What?
Yeah, fighting. But pro wrestling, no. Pro wrestling, they'll say mean things, but fight fans, dude, they're a different breed.
I feel like if you were in the UFC now with your persona and especially like your style, like you'd be, because you wrestle bare feet, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you're hung.
I'm hung, dude. That's what she said.
I'll get you loose.
Yeah. You know how to do it, Lucas.
That's crazy, bro. And you were saying, bro, like, you feel like you were one of the first people to get whooped for smoking weed in the UFC.
Oh, dude, for sure. And the Diaz brothers, of course. But
what you mean? Oh, they got. But then.
Nick Diaz lost years. Hey guys.
Are those Mexicans on the boat?
Yeah, I think they're going back. No. I'm kidding.
Oh, they got tired.
They look happy though. They got life jackets on. They'll be fine.
He said they got life jackets on. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
He said they got life jackets on. They'll be fine.
Yeah, dude, they go overboard. It's a river, you know. Should be good.
So how many years did I don't know much about Nate Diaz. How many years did he lose?
Well, Nate was fine. Nick, on the other hand, lost probably 3 to 5 years of his career just due to Nevada Athletic Commission suspending him, right?
Damn.
So, well, me, I'll say this. By the time I ever get, because I failed 2 drug tests in the UFC for marijuana, you know? And when I was there, the first time I failed one, it was in Canada, and they didn't get the results till months later. But I already got submission of the night and other things. So I made $140,000 in one night. And so what do you think I did? I bought a house, you know, I bought a car. And then by the time they came at me to be like, hey, you failed that drug test, we need that money back. I was like, I don't have it. You're not taking it.
So if you
I have a medical license.
So if you fail a drug test, they can take the money?
So now they don't give you the money until the drug test results come back.
What
because of me. They don't give you your money or bonus until that test.
So you can essentially fight for free.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When you lose, it's a wrap, man. When you lose the drug test, they take your money. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you don't make weight, they take you. You know, they'll take a percentage, and then yeah.
Yeah, but
fighting's brutal.
My whole check though.
Yeah, dude.
My whole check being, I gotta tell you something else.
Oh, I appreciate it.
My whole check being gone because I smoked some weed.
Yeah.
So did they sue you for the money?
No. At that point, well, also you got to realize they're allowing fighters at this time to use TRT and other pharmaceutical drugs, but that's okay. But medical cannabis wasn't. And now, if you actually look at the landscape and the testing, you can have marijuana in your system, but you can't have TRT or Oxycontin or all these other drugs that they were allowing players to take at the time.
Wow.
You know, but at the same time, I understand why they wanted it. By doing so, you could have guys that are way past their prime come back to their prime. Like a lot of people that watch MMA, they remember Vitor Belfort. And at the time, he was called TRT for or whatever. There's a nickname for him because he was so gassed up and he was knocking everybody out, you know? And, you know, so I feel like for them, it was a way to bring back big names, you know, and keep them relevant.
Right.
And for me, as an up-and-comer at 27, I was like, dude, I'm on a 4 or 5 fight win streak. You got all these legends using steroids to compete with me. And that's and then you're going to punish me for using marijuana when I don't use or take anything else, you know?
Yo, have better sex with Blue Chew. Blue Chew is the original brand offering chewable tablets for better sex. These erection-enhancing tablets help men achieve stronger, harder, and longer-lasting erections for sexual activities. Guys, be ready when she needs it and get your first month of Blue Chew free. Great sex is only a few clicks away. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. Blue Chew tablets are made in the USA and prepared and shipped directly to your door. The best part, it's all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew won't stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house. That is the mission. Everybody could use an extra hand. With Blue Chew, you get an extra leg. Let me just say this. Blue Chew works. I cut diamonds with my tip, bruh. I'm just trying to tell you, that's how hard I get. Blue Chew will get you harder than a 2x4 in winter taking a math test, harder than keeping eye contact at Hooters. You could be missing out on the best sex of your life. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal for our listeners. Try your first month of Blue Chew free when you use promo code DAVID. Just pay $5 shipping. That's promo code DAVID. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank Blue Chew for sponsoring this podcast.
Do you feel like the UFC should allow everybody to take TRT?
Well, I think it should be, at that time when I was there, I didn't mind people taking TRT if they needed it, whatever, but don't punish me for using medical cannabis, you know?
Yeah.
So I thought that was hypocritical, you know? But, I mean, to be fair, I think there should be multiple leagues, kind of like bodybuilding. There's the natural league, and then there's, the other league, and, and there's a difference, right? So, and I think if people played with those guidelines and they were honest about it, then I think that's okay. Because either way, you're going to get the best of that. And people could argue, but they could also argue this and that. Like, you did this, you didn't do that, and et cetera, you know? But I would imagine most mixed martial artists in my career use something. Like, be it, if it's not TRT, it was HGH, because you couldn't really test for HGH. But also, and that's why you see guys like, say, like Tito, go from what they looked like back in the day, and now you see him, and it's like his head's this big and his hands are this big.
Because everything grows.
Yeah, dude. That's what they said.
Damn.
That's what they said.
Damn. I didn't know the intricacies of the UFC.
Oh, dude, it's all complicated. It's all entertainment. That's the thing. Like, even when you're in stand-up and you're in comedy, it's all the same business, just different avenues, maybe different collection of fans. And that's like why we do things like this, to get that crossover, because a lot of my fans probably will think you're funny. They think I'm funny. They're gonna think you're funny. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and vice versa. So, but it's all entertainment. Even if it's the NFL or the UFC, it's how many tickets did that team sell? That also determines how many good players they can buy.
Yeah.
And et cetera. So money talks.
Yeah, it does. Always.
Always.
Always does. Yeah. But you've been able to make a life out of, I mean, that's always the goal of life. Can I make a living doing what I love?
Yeah. And I would tell anybody, don't try to do something for money. Do something you really care about. Because, dude, you'll end up making the money. And you're going to be happy.
Yeah.
I'd say my only complaint with things now is I travel so much.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first 10 years, it was pretty cool. But, I'm at a point where, like, traveling every weekend, I'm like, gets a little old. But like you said earlier, it's like, you want to be busy's good.
Yeah.
Busy means people are still wanting to see you.
Yeah,
you're still making money.
Yeah.
You can provide all
busy
those
is good. When you're not busy is when you should be worried.
Yeah. Yeah. You got it? Look at that. Look at that cast. That's got to be good, right?
Yeah, it got to be.
It got to be good. Wait, now is there a trick for it not to get hung up?
Just let it sit. Yeah. There's a lot of obstructions in this damn water.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, just hold it. Eventually something will find it. It's a live shrimp.
Man.
And then, so after the UFC, your career didn't end. You went to NXT, then the WWE.
Yeah, when I was basically after the UFC, I had to go to like the regional circuit, right? The like the indies of MMA. And to be honest, look at that. Look at that. Shrimp did all the work.
Yeah, I told you.
Come on, baby.
It's a small fish. Small.
Look at that. It's a fighter, though.
Look like a croaker.
It's a fighter, dude.
I think it's a croaker. Little croaker. Yeah, it is.
Look at that.
Look at him.
Look at that.
Fighting like a mug.
What a stallion.
This dude mad as funny. So who are your friends like in the WWE now? You got any? You know The Rock?
Oh, yeah. I know The Rock. I wouldn't say we're friends. We're acquaintances. I'm pretty good friends with, I don't know if you know who Randy Orton is.
Of course.
We were tag team champions, RK Bro, multiple time, WrestleManias, you name it, we've done it.
We could eat this one.
Yeah. Huh?
This is an eater. Croaker tastes good.
But yeah, good friends with him. But I was actually I was in Tampa a couple weeks ago at Nick Hogan's wedding.
Oh, yeah?
Hulk Hogan's son.
Yeah.
And I saw Hogan in the Big Show and all those guys, RVD, Mm-hmm. So I'm tight with a bunch of Rob Van Dam.
Okay.
You know him?
Yeah.
He's like another, 420 guy, another 420 stoner kind of wrestler, but his in-ring work, kind of like mine, is awesome.
I used to love, what was that fool name? He had all those personas, Cactus Jack.
Oh, dude, love Cactus Jack, Mick Foley.
Mick Foley,
yeah. Dude. He's a great guy. Probably one of the nicest. Think about it, you see the wars he's been through, throwing out cages, everything. That guy is so nice. He writes my kids Christmas cards every year.
Oh, wow.
As if he were Santa.
He lives in Florida?
He lives in Florida.
Yeah, Ric Flair lives up the street.
Oh, from here?
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm pretty tight with Ric Flair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Was it a fish? Or you just fell?
No, just Phil. Just Phil. I'll hold that bad boy here.
Let's see if I can get another croaker.
Yeah, dude.
I might should have kept that one.
You just throw them back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do my duty to preserve the fish community.
Yeah, that's nice. That was a far cast.
Yeah, bro. You got to practice.
Yeah, dude.
I fish a lot.
Yeah.
That's dope. You got tight with Ric Flair.
Yeah. A lot of the legends, I guess you'd say old timers, but a lot of the legends kind of like me because of my background in the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Because back in the day, like it was a lot of the guys were shooters. You know, that's what they call like a wrestler that knows how to actually fight.
Oh, okay.
So like, and by being a shooter, you can like you can handle yourself.
Right.
And I'll say this. Going into pro wrestling after my UFC career definitely helped out in the sense of nobody tried to take liberties with me, you know, because they knew I would, you know, and any of those that did, like one time this guy asked if he could put me in a submission. I was like, sure, you know, I'll get out, whatever. And he put me in it, and as I was in it, he slapped me on the ass, like, you know, taunting. And I flipped out. Like, I was like, what? I switched, got right behind him, put him in a rear naked choke, started choking him out, and I go, get to the ropes. Like, I'm not letting go. Like, get to the ropes or I'm going to choke you out. And his rope break, I had to let go. So I let go on 4. He rolled out of the ring, caught his breath, and came back in. I was like, don't embarrass me. You know?
Yeah, you
I'm a UFC, I'm a fucking world champion.
Well, did you have your fingernails painted when he slapped you on the ass?
No, he didn't. You know, now I understand.
I might would have slapped you on the ass if your fingernails
I get it, man, with the long hair and the nails, you know?
What does that mean? You like men?
I mean, I like some, dude. I like you, you know. You know what it was? I wrestled barefoot, and I started painting my toenails to match my gear. And then the fans really liked that, and especially, you know, kind of being an entertainment, I don't know, flashy or whatever. And I also think being like a professional cage fighter that can like break people's jaws and stuff, you know, for me to do it, I don't really care. I like the way it looks. I get a mani-pedi. I feel good. It looks good.
Anybody ever tried you, like, when you're out? Like, look at this surfer.
Dude, you know, people don't try me now, but when I lived in Phoenix, Arizona, I don't know if it's still the same way. Phoenix, Arizona, I got right off the Ultimate Fighter show. I moved to Scottsdale. I'm out there.
How bad are the women in Scottsdale?
Dude.
They're some of the finest girls in the world, right?
Dude, the damage I did. Dude, I was right off the Ultimate Fighter TV show. Imagine that in the UFC, bruh. Walking around, dude. We just drive around campus with our shirts off and be like, what's up? Party. It was a
women in
good time.
Scottsdale are so bad.
They're legit. And I'll say this, you get to the club a little earlier. You get there around 9. There's a lot of bad cougars there too, you know? And as a young 22-year-old in the UFC, you know, sometimes I got to work out tomorrow. I need an early night, you know?
Yeah.
So, very cool place to live, but also the only place where I had to break up 100 fights at least. I got into multiple fights, and I'm very non-confrontational. To get in a fight with
Most
me,
people who know how to fight.
you don't. I fight. I got to go practice. And I fight professionally. I don't want to get hurt, injured, to street fight, whatever. So I'd go out to a bar. And people would know I trained, you know, what have you. And I'd go out with Ryan Bader and C.V. Dalloway, Aaron Simpson. There's a bunch of us that lived in Arizona at the time, and go out to a bar. I remember this one guy specifically came up to me and he goes, "What's up?" He's like, "You train?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, dude. Like I train at Arizona Combat Sports." Yeah, I was like, "Do you train?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh, where at?" He goes, "The streets." And I was like, what? Like, what do you, is that the name of the gym, you know? And then dude just showed me, fight right there, just started fighting me. And then there's other retired fighters that are like now addicted to drugs in Phoenix, and they would get into fights all the time, but they're like world-class fighters, but they're like tweakers now. And they're just fighting people in Phoenix all the time. Phoenix was a wild place.
Yeah.
You know?
I like Phoenix.
I enjoy Phoenix as well.
A lot of baddies. God.
Yeah. Well, you know, I say this, Florida very much very
Florida
similar.
too.
But
you wouldn't expect that in Scottsdale.
Dude, you won. But and then again,
is it in the water? I don't think I've seen an ugly girl in Scottsdale.
Dude, it's the weather. It's just beautiful and dry and nice. Everybody has a swimming pool, and and they sell liquor at grocery stores 24 hours a day. So, you know, it's a recipe, you know, it's a finely tuned recipe.
And the gun laws are pretty lax.
Very. They have a bunch of laws. Dude, when I lived there, if there's two guys fighting, the cops would let them fight. They would separate everybody. Everybody would circle the parking lot, and they would let two guys fight.
That's dope.
And I was like, that's pretty sweet, right? Yeah. But then there's another law where, say, if me and my friend walk up to a guy and start talking shit, that guy pulls a gun out and shoots both of us, he's fine. Because there's two of us, one of him, and he's smaller than the two of us.
And his life was at risk.
He could be. So that's also a thing. So Arizona was a wild place.
That's a what?
We got a gator?
That's a manatee, nigga.
Ooh, man.
Is it a gator?
I mean, we are in Florida.
Is it a gator? There is high.
I was going to say, if you hung some meat out here, you would probably get some pretty wild wildlife out here.
I want to bring him over here.
But do you see him?
I see the movement that my brother saw. See that little trail in the middle?
Yeah.
Might be a gator.
Yeah, look at that.
Imagine if you hooked him. Oh.
Well, like I said, I had gators on my property when I lived in Ocala, and I had a hemp wick because I smoke a lot, and I use hemp wick a lot of the time to burn bowls. So I had a lot of hemp wick, but it's really strong, and it's like beeswax. So I'd tie like chicken to it, throw it in the water, and then like wrangle them up and pull them up. You know, it was a good time.
How the hell were you born in New York? You a fucking Florida boy.
Florida's tight, dude. I love riding dirt bikes too. I don't know if you like ATVs. Yeah, dude. Especially Florida. Florida's a great place to because it's just mud and sand and you can really rip up the earth, you know?
You can.
I lived in New York when I used to ride dirt bikes and the earth was a lot less forgiving, you know, kind of like, you know, Nevada or Utah.
Yeah, that hard ass. Hell
yeah, I've crashed a bunch of times in Florida. I was fine. You know, I had the boots and the armor.
Yeah.
New York did. I crashed. I limped home, you know?
So how long were you in the WWE?
I was in the WWE for about 7-8 years.
Nice.
Yeah, I wrestled NXT for about 1.5 years, 2 years, and then I was on the main roster.
What was your persona in the WWE?
I was the original bro. And I would say my entrance was bro. And then it played like a San Andreas beat.
That would be the worst, getting beat up by a surfer.
Yeah, well, man, at least I'm a surfer with a background, right?
No, but I'm just saying, like, if I look at you in Florida, I'd be like, he surfs.
Well, yeah, and I will say this. You know, painted nails, long hair, whatever. People underestimate me a lot of the time, right? You're like, look at me, you're like, oh, dude, how good could he be? And then I yoke people up. So,
bro, I saw it. But back when you had that buzz cut, you look like that type.
Yeah. Yeah.
What made you grow the hair out?
Wrestling. When I was a kid, I had longer hair, but when I started amateur wrestling and fighting, it's not conducive. You know, it gets in the way, whatever. Right. And I already have enough problems trying to fight this guy, right? You know, I'm not at that level. I needed shorter hair. But when I started professional wrestling, the hair, it's a good look. I thought I could rock it pretty decent. And when, say, I get punched or somebody's punching at me, if I have a shaved head, like, doesn't really give me too much wiggle room, right? Well, if I have hair and I take a shot and it all goes flying back and it looks like
I see.
It looks like I got hit way harder, way more intense. And even my movement and even flicking the hair back and getting the crowd fired up, you know, it's all an act, you know?
Right.
Everything has a meaning, and you're like working the crowd, kind of like stand-up, right? You know, you might see somebody in the audience, like I might see somebody boo me randomly, and I'm like, what, bro, are you serious, you know? And then everybody around me that's cheering me gets on them, you know? So it's just, you feel it, you know?
Yeah, I like that. That's crazy, bro. So you were saying like a lot of the wrestling is choreographed.
Yeah, I look at professional wrestling almost as a live action stunt show.
Okay.
So just like a stunt man would go through a window or get hit with a cinder block or something, we do the same thing except for there's thousands of people in attendance, millions watching at home live, and we don't get a cut per se. We do get commercial breaks. Okay. Right? But the crowd's still watching you.
And you were
saying, just turn the lights down.
And you were saying that the winners are predetermined.
Most of the time, yeah. They can always change it, you know, because it is wrestling. Like say something like the Royal Rumble. Right. Somebody could be out there, the crowd's really reacting one way, and they're like, hey, like, we change the plans, you know? But usually you have a feeling for it. Like I've been in matches where I was told I was gonna win going into it, and then right beforehand, they're like, hey, change the plan.
So
you know?
basically, the storyline is all. Does Vince McMahon control the storyline?
He used to. He
Okay.
used to. But there's a team of writers as well. But at that time, kind of like Triple H now, final say. You know, like, so the script comes, read over it. Okay, I like this. I don't like that. Let's change the verbiage here. Oh, this match, I don't know if we need this much time, or maybe it should be a hardcore match.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. So,
Bro, I remember how crazy it used to be when I was a kid. Like I would watch, what was that black tag team? Harlem Heat.
Harlem Heat, Booker T and Stevie Ray, dude. Yeah, bro.
Bro, Harlem Heat. Where are they at now?
Yeah, well, Booker T, I believe, does commentary for WWE, I believe, for NXT, or he was.
Okay.
And he also runs a school down in Texas. I'm not sure what Stevie Ray does. I've seen him at some of the cons I go to where I'm doing signings. So
Booker T's probably still very popular, huh?
very popular. He's the five-time, you know?
What about Goldust?
Goldust, Dustin Reynolds.
He's really gay, right?
Well, honestly, he's been married multiple times to women. You know? I think it was a work. I think that was also like a pop factor, especially in the 90s, being overly flamboyant, you know. But he, I think, was with AEW. I don't know if he still is, but he just, and his brother's Cody Rhodes, who's, I think, the current WWE World Champion.
Hold up. His last name is Rhodes?
Yeah.
So he was related to Dusty Rhodes?
Yes. They're all
for real?
related. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
Dusty Rhodes was like the cowboy, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
He wore the polka dots. He had the bubonic.
I can't remember, but I do remember.
He had the
that.
elbow. He did the, I don't know.
Man, what was the guy's name? Larry the King Lawyer?
Yeah.
What was it?
Jerry.
Jerry the King Lawyer.
Jerry the King Law. I saw him this past weekend.
I remember,
in Indianapolis.
I remember he had a Kiss My Feet match.
He sure did against Bret Hart.
Bro,
I was there.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't there in person, but I saw it. I was there.
Yeah, I remember that when I was a kid. Because I remember there was a commercial of him on, bro, that's all I did when I was a kid was watch wrestling and go in the backyard and practice that shit.
Dude, that's how I am where I am today.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe that's where you got some of your stage presence.
Probably.
You know? Probably, dude.
I used to love, what's that black dude name? He would come out like he was special ed. He used to wear the black jumpsuit. He'd be like, he was light-skinned black dude, had a low haircut.
I don't know.
Hold on, I'm gonna find the meme.
Please, dude. Light-skinned black dude that came out, what, he seemed special?
Yeah, hold up.
Is that his persona?
I'm about to find it.
Yeah, dude.
I can't remember his name. I used to love watching him.
So what years is this?
Bro, I can't remember.
D'Lo Brown.
D'Lo Brown.
Was it D'Lo? Did he do the head thing?
Yeah.
Best recognized? Lowdown? Yeah, D'Lo Brown.
They had that meme, how special ed kids be walking into the lunchroom.
Dude, you want to hear something messed up?
What?
He has neck problems for moving his head like that.
For
now.
real?
Yeah, because he's always like this.
And what was the other dude's name? The big pimp. If you like what you
Oh, Godfather. I saw him this past week and roll a fatty for this pimp daddy, the hoe train.
If you like what you see in front of you, let me hear you say, oh yeah, something like that.
Yeah, dude. He's great.
Damn. And Razor Ramon.
Yeah.
From Miami.
Scott Hall.
Yeah, Scott Hall, bro.
Yeah.
Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
These are all guys from my childhood. Scott Steiner. When what's the dude's name? He became really huge. The white dude, Jack. Around the time with
It's a lot of them.
Around the time with The Rock, he's like a movie star now.
Goldberg?
No.
Stone Cold?
No, I know Stone. That's like 2000s. Right?
John Cena?
John Cena.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a pretty big one too.
But when he came around,
he lives down in Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When he came around, I wasn't really watching wrestling anymore.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I was more into mixed martial arts by then.
Yeah. Because he was like what, 06, 07, something like that. Yeah.
Early 2000s.
Yeah. I stopped watching it. I'm trying to think who else. Who else from my childhood? I remember when Owen Hart died.
Yeah, I bought the pay-per-view.
For real?
Yeah.
He was from Calgary, Canada.
Sure was.
And then his brother, Bret Hart?
Yeah.
Was that his brother?
Yep.
Yep.
Bret Hart and now...
The Steiner Recliner.
Steiner Recliner.
I saw a picture of him the other day. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
He
dude.
looks crazy.
Scott Steiner?
Yeah.
Yeah. Guy looks, I mean, father time, dude. They'll get you.
And I mean, you know,
They'll get you good.
Doing stuff like wrestling, bro. Like we think about people like Chris Benoit doing a flying headbutt.
You know,
You know
nobody made him do it. You know.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, dude, wrestling's a wild one.
Yeah. So did you like retire from WWE?
I wouldn't say retired. You know, I was fired when they merged with TKO, the UFC, and TKO merged with WWE. And during that process, a lot of talent was let go, released, and office as well. So it's just same thing, even with the UFC. You know, I failed a drug test with them, but they also just merged with Strikeforce. So they had an abundance of talent.
Right.
And while I feel with the merger with TKO, I feel because they had to spend so much money to obtain WWE, they had to start making that money back.
So if you can go back in time, would you stop smoking weed?
No.
Really?
No. Because I wouldn't change anything. Everything happens for a reason. Right. You know, like even my ex-wife, and I pay all that money all the time, and she got my own house. It's like, it is what it is, you know? I got awesome kids out of it and everything else. I got 4 kids. I take care of 5. Me and my girlfriend live together, and she has a kid too.
Oh, right on. 4 kids. Girls and boys?
I got 2 boys and 2 girls. Twin girls, 14, one son that's 12, and one son that's 1 in a couple months.
I wonder how cool it is having a dad that's a wrestler.
You know what's funny? My kids, because they were around it, like in the UFC and then in professional wrestling. So for them, it's just normal, right? And I don't really like amplify it at home. I'm not like, I'm me.
You're a different dude.
Yeah, you know, I'm dad, you know? So I think with them, but all their friends are like, no way. A bunch of their friends didn't even believe I was their dad till they met me. They're like, no way, your dad's the bro? And I'm like, what up, dude? You guys want a picture? You know, and, but I feel good. I feel good for them because I feel like for a kid, it's a decent flex, you know? Most kids have normal dads, and I feel like their dad's like a professional cage fighter and WWE superstar and still traveling the world wrestling everywhere doing their thing.
Yeah, bro. That's all the point of being a dad is just to make your kids proud, provide for them. And then you get to stunt in front of their kids.
Yeah.
I mean, stunt in front of their friends.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. They ever bring you to school on career day?
Yeah, no, I didn't get invited. You know, I'm not the best for, you know, elementary or middle school speeches. You know, I have done a couple though over the years. Yeah. You know, kids, because I think kids, I feel like when you're in school, you really think, you know, these are your only options. And I feel like if you bring somebody in like me, it's like you said, do something you love. And you really don't work at all. Right. And I know you hear that saying, but
people don't get
they don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, and like even in professional wrestling, you'll be told stuff to do and you don't get it till you get it, right? Like turn yourself up. And you're like, what does that mean? I'm like, I'm me, turn it up. But it's like when I'm on camera and wrestling, you know, I'm animated and I'm fighting and I'm selling and everything, right?
Did you develop that persona on your own?
Well, when I look at professional wrestling, you got a very interactive crowd, and the crowds like to get involved and chant stuff and do stuff. So when I was watching wrestling over the years, you know, especially in the last like decade or so, I was looking at good top wrestlers, and a lot of them would have like a slogan or catchphrase, be it yes, you know, Daniel Bryan had the yes chant and stuff like that. So for me, I started doing a bro thing, and I was the king of bros, and I would just say bro a lot.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, people would just, when I came out, would start chanting, bro, bro, bro. And when you're looking at the world, because the world watches pro wrestling, it's way bigger than people realize.
Oh, look at that. Oh, you got one.
Yeah, I got it.
Hold on. Get it from under there?
Yeah.
Get it from under the camera leg?
Yeah.
There you go. Reel him in.
Real man. It's happening.
You got it.
It's happening.
Set the hook. There you go.
Yeah. Sick, dude.
Yeah. Did it get off?
He might have got off.
Damn, bro.
Dude.
Bro.
I had it.
Bro.
Or maybe he came back.
Hold up. Did you get stuck?
No, I think he might have swam towards me.
Really a little faster?
I can't. It keeps going back and forth.
Fight his ass.
Yeah. Where are you?
Bro.
I think I got it, dude.
Bro.
Put it in the hip. Where are you? It's right there. Oh, he's pulling.
Oh, is that another skate? Yeah, it is. Damn.
What is this thing?
Baby stingray. Well, you ain't scared of nothing.
Oh, he's not gonna crocodile hunter me, dude. Look at that. Stingray, dude.
Yeah.
Skirt. I'll get a picture. I don't want to get.
Hold up.
Look at that.
Want me to get it? Hold up. Let me get
All right, how do we release this guy? He's really hooked on.
Turn this way so the sun can.
Yeah, get that glisten, bro.
There you go.
Beautiful. All right, so I let this guy go.
Of course, bring him over here to the operation table.
I think I can get that out.
You think so?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me set this down. All right. We're safe. And what, the tail's the thing that hits you?
Yeah. But it ain't no big one.
All right. I got you, little guy. Aw.
He's making noise. Yeah. Shouldn't have been greedy, bitch. His mouth almost looks like a pussy. The circle hooks, they should come out fairly easy.
Yeah.
You want a towel to hold him down?
Yeah, I just want to cover that tail so it doesn't slap up and get me, you know? All right. Cover that up.
Put a blanket on that nigga.
Yeah, stay there. Let me sink back in. Got it. Now, how do we get him back in? Do I grab him like this?
Yeah, there you go.
There you go, guy.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Yeet.
Look at that, dude.
Put another shrimp on, doggy.
Oh.
Good shit, bro.
Oh, thank you, bro. That was tight.
Catching skates.
Skates, dude. I'm gonna hook your chair. All right. We got this.
Catching skates.
Sweet.
Skirt, skirt. I saw it when it was bending down. I'm like, all right, he got one. Good shit.
All righty.
We caught like 4 of those today. Off camera. The fuck did I catch? A drug bag.
Come on, shrimp.
This is like a dog poop bag I caught.
Dog? Yeah, isn't that what that is?
That's what it looks like.
That's what you just caught?
Mm-hmm.
Tight.
So coming up next, I'm on tour. I'm on the Killers of Kill Tony tour. I'm on my own tour. Just creating more content, bro. I'm gonna get this fishing podcast huge. I believe it's what the world needs. Want me to throw it out there for you?
Yeah, I went the opposite way. So I have it like this, right? And I flick it.
Other finger. So all right, look at this. Watch. Let me give you a little quick tutorial. This finger, grab the line.
Grab the line.
Move the bezel back.
Move the bezel back. This thing.
Yeah. Flip the bezel over.
Because this gives it the slack to go.
Yeah. There you go. What happened? Oh, you closed the bezel with your hand.
Yeah, my shrimp. My shrimp.
You accidentally closed the bezel with your hand.
My bad.
I'm
just running through shrimps, dude.
It's all good. They got more at the base though.
Well, this is fun.
Now you're gonna want to fish all the time.
Yeah, dude.
My daughters love to fish, bro.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but they so impatient.
You see, that's me, David. I'm very impatient.
You're not that patient. I mean, you're not that impatient.
Oh, they're jumping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got me good, dude.
I see why you're the bro.
Yeah, dude.
You ever lived in LA?
No, but I've definitely spent some time out there, for sure.
Where'd you meet your ex-wife?
Vegas.
Oh, shit. You knew you shouldn't have married no girl.
Yeah, I should have known. But the thing is, at the time, she was an all-American. She just graduated college. I was on my second fight in the UFC. I was just training. And I see this chick with, like, huge fake tits running sprints. And I'm like, who's this? Then she came up, got my name and number. And she's like an all-American gymnast, just graduated. She's stacked. And at the time, she was fun, you know?
Did you end things or she did?
Oh, she did. You know, I don't quit, dude. John Cena, bro. I never give up, man. All right. Oh,
I'll untangle it.
over here, dude. Over here, bro. All right. So, I'm going to do this standing here.
Right finger.
Right finger on the string.
Yep, move the bezel back.
Right here.
Throw it, chunk it. Release. There you go. You a pro in one day.
Bro. Do I change this back?
Yep, put it back over. Reel a little bit of that slack in. Yes, sir. Put it back in your chair.
Love it. Love it. Here we go.
So she was an All-American gymnast?
Yeah, she was an All-American gymnast. On paper, everything looked pretty good, you know. But
you didn't know about prenups back then?
Yeah, well, I also wasn't making that much money back then, you know. And she had the college degree, so I was kind of...
Oh, get it.
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh. Get it from over the...
Yeah, I won't take your
got
camera. Oh, yeah, dude. Do you think he's back? The same guy, man?
You think he's back?
Yeah, this guy just keeps throwing me back and feeding me shrimp. Kind of fucked up. Put a blanket on me.
Not a bad deal.
All right. Oh, this one's coming. Oh, is there anything on there? Oh yeah. He's just swimming with me.
How the hell?
Wow, he just swam all the way to me.
Is that a croaker? Yep. No, that's a sea trout. Let me see.
Look at that sea trout.
Yeah, it is.
Look at that, dude. Look at that shine, brother.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. Look at me, man. Fucking king of fishing, dude. All right, nice. And I still got the shrimp.
Yeah, you want to hold? He got little teeth, but you can.
Yeah, dude, I'll fucking hold that, dude.
Yeah, you ain't scared.
I'm fucking. What's he gonna do? Bite my finger?
You see that one tooth at the top?
Oh my God, that's a dude. You could shotgun a beer with that guy. You know what I'm saying? Look at that mean face, dude. See this? You see this, dude? Oh, dude, that's tight. Look at it. Pretty slimy.
You got a towel right there for your hand.
Nah, are we keeping this?
Nah.
All right. Bye, fish.
I don't think he's legal. He's underage. You get in trouble. Right. You get in trouble for that.
Yeah.
In all 50 states.
Really?
Underage.
Oh, the fish is underage. Yeah, you don't do that. What do you mean? It's a fish.
You still got your shrimp.
I do. I'm going to cast that back out. No help this time. Let's see. Boom. Oh, let me reel a little bit.
There you go, right there.
Right there, bro.
A little over the bezel. Yeah. Shout out to Lou's Rides. They sent me these nice rides.
Yeah, dude. All right.
There you go.
Let's do that right there.
He hit it as soon as you put it in there. You threw it right in his house.
Yeah, that last one. And then he swam right to me. I felt like I was like, oh, he must have got away.
Right.
Still had it. Still had it. Probably heard my voice. It's a melody, you know?
I think I got one on here. Got his ass.
Dude, look at us. Who would have thought?
It's small, man? Whatever. Oh, maybe not. It's a nice size. Oh, yeah. Hell no, man. I don't want that shit.
Oh, you got one of the stingrays again?
Yeah.
No, that's a different one, dude. It's a different one, man. It's not the same guy. Yeah, lipper.
Out here catching stingrays. Well, escaped.
Oh yeah, dude, that's the best place to make a phone call.
Out here catching stingrays.
Right on. Let me sit on the front of my boat. Yeah, drive the boat. I gotta make a call. Yeah. Yeah.
You gonna do surgery on this one?
Yeah, I got surgery. Let me grab my surgeon tools, dude. Alrighty.
You got the blanket?
Got the blanket. Let me get on this side of the string here. All right. I'm going to cover your genitalia. Make you comfortable there. Yep, don't worry, don't worry. Keeping you here. Gotcha.
We have officially made you a Florida boy.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Somebody in the comments will be like, does that hurt the fish?
No.
No, I know.
It's like a little lip piercing, dude. There we go. There's your hook. Yep, I got you. Look, that squeak noise they make gets me though. All right, come on. Oh, well, you jumped the gun, guy. Stop whipping that tail around, dude. Hey!
Don't fall in the water, bro.
Yeah, I won't. Hey! Come on, you're almost there. Get out of here. God damn it. Why are you sticking? Why are they so sticky? All right, dude. Oh no, ever since the crocodile hunter, dude, you gotta be careful.
I think his was huge though, right?
That's what she said.
When do you ever plan to retire?
Yeah.
You got one?
Maybe.
Is it coming? I mean, not like that.
Yeah, it's moving.
Might be stuck. Let me see.
Yeah, you have more of a feel for this.
Yeah. There's a lot of obstructions out here. Let's see if we got any bait. Yeah, chunk it back out there.
Yeah. All right. Finger. Let's do this. Finger.
Oh, you tangled up.
Up
top.
Well, I'll do it so I don't have to. Thanks, man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, dude. All right.
I gotta take you fishing on a boat, bro. You ever been on a boat?
Yeah, I have, you know. Unfortunately, the last time I went deep sea fishing, never been fishing on like a boat, like in a river or lake. But I went deep sea fishing for a friend's birthday party.
Somebody died?
Oh, no, dude. I died.
You said unfortunately.
They were like, hey, you might want to take this medication so you don't get seasick. And I was like, dude, I'm good. I've ridden jet skis before, you know. And, bro, the night before I was hanging out with the kid. Is it already there?
Yeah. Hold on, let it eat it some more. You feel anything? Set a hook. Set a hook. Yank up. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, dude.
We can't even talk. We catch so many fish now.
I know. But so I went fishing, and the night before I stayed, it was during COVID, so the kids were home, we were homeschooling them. So we stayed up late watching horror movies and eating ramen noodles. My friend picked me up at like 4 o'clock in the morning to go on this fishing trip, and of course he had Bloody Marys waiting for me in like the back of the Jeep. And then we started, oh, he's already here. Oh, another fish.
Is that a trout or a croaker?
I don't know, but he's...
Oh, that's another trout. That's probably keeping size right there.
Look at that, dude. Look at that, dude.
That's a decent size, bro.
Look at that, dude. That'll feed one of us.
Definitely got to get a pic with this one.
Yeah. Look at that, dude. Do some surge.
Some surge?
Yeah, dude. Some surgery. Surge, pretty good drink though, too. I mean, I was a fan. They bring it back every like 10 years. Always pick up a case.
Damn, my pliers are rusty.
Does this guy have any tooths?
Yeah.
Do they all have that one big tooth in the center?
Yeah.
Dude, that's gnarly.
Where'd you put that other plier?
Oh, right here.
Yeah, those are better.
Yeah, they are. Dude, just fishing.
Just hold him
dude.
in the belly.
Yeah, dude, I got that.
See this nigga ready to go.
Hook myself, dude. Yeah.
I get a pick.
Don't you dare, dude, with your fangs.
With your fangs.
Oh, man.
Hold it out with your other hand too.
Yeah.
Long ways.
You want it like this?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna post that.
Fuck yeah, dude. All right, fish. Should I throw them back?
Yes,
you want to
sir.
eat it?
Nah.
All right.
Yeet.
That's gotta be
The
part of
spot I'm about to throw towards your spot.
Yeah, dude, it's a good spot. A lot of activity.
Right. You
I haven't been doing it on purpose, you know, it just keeps going to the right. Look at this.
Shrimp pull anything out. Oh, something was eating mine probably when I was helping you.
Wash my hands in some shrimp water. It's crazy how slick a fish is.
Yeah.
That's wild. No wonder they're so fast. What? Oh, I need a shrimp.
So you got seasick when you went out.
Yeah, well, seasick, and then the vessel we were on. So I get out there, I get seasick, and one thing they say, they don't throw up. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna throw up, but I ate ramen noodles all night. I gotta take a shit, right? So I go down to the bathroom. When you go down to the bathroom, it's like 120 degrees. And then I start pooping. And then when I smell my poop, I can't take it with the heat and the motion and everything. Then I lose it. And then I throw up. As I'm throwing up, they go, hey, don't throw up down there, you know? But it was already too late. And then I came upstairs, I go, I'm sleeping. And I laid on the boat the rest of the trip.
I think Daniel took a shit when we went fishing.
Yeah, somebody should really give you a heads up, like, hey, when you're out on the water, like the bathrooms are tiny and they're hot, you know? Because I wouldn't have ate what I ate, you know? And I probably wouldn't have chugged those Bloody Marys, you know what I'm saying?
True.
It was a recipe for disaster, David, you know? You know you got a ladybug on your head.
Really?
Yep, to the right,
That's
right
good
here.
luck, ain't it?
It is good luck.
Let her stay.
Look at that, dude.
Let her stay.
Let her stay, dude.
Let's see if we can get one more before we get out of here.
I like
there's
it.
one. Oh, you bitch. Probably got my shrimp snagged. He gone. Shrimp gone.
Oh, dude, these
Shrimp
fish,
is gone.
these
I already knew
fish
that.
love shrimp, dude.
Don't humans love shrimp?
Yeah, I love shrimp, you know? All right. No, sir. Put this here.
Oh, you didn't open the bezel. You skipped.
Lost me another shrimp.
Matthew Riddle might be the first person I have to charge for fishing. Just because of the amount of bait.
I mean, if we would have kept one of the fish I caught, dude, we could have cut that guy up, you know?
Yeah. Oh, bro, cut bait. We probably start reeling in some bull sharks.
Yeah. That's what I was saying earlier. I was like,
I don't try to hook those, bro.
yeah.
You'll lose a finger.
Really?
I mean, the smaller ones are the ones that are unpredictable, bro. Because they can, if you grab them by the tail, they can rip around and get your arm real quick, you know?
Yeah.
I got $100 if you can hit one of those chicks on that boat with that bait.
With this shrimp?
Yeah.
They just throw it at them?
Yeah, get it. Yes.
Cops come.
Those chicks are strong, bro. Rowing.
Yeah, I know. Rowing chicks are diesel. They have huge fucking backs and legs. And all they fucking talk about is fucking rowing. It fucking sucks, dude. I fucking used to hook up with this chick that rowed, and all she did was like, you know how hard it is? It's like the hardest sport. I'm like, yeah, dude, you're on a boat. Shut up. Like, I fucking wrestle. All right.
These don't look like college students. These look like housewives.
Yeah, it's a club team.
Yeah, they're out here doing this shit. They're out here doing this shit because their husbands are rich. They're not out here on no college. These fucking milfs. There you go.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah, this boat just takes me.
They about to come making all this fucking wake. Oh, that's a boat of chicks.
All right. All right.
Let's go. What do girls like to drink? White Claw. Let's go get a case.
Yeah, they love White
Well, you got a
Claws.
girlfriend.
Yeah, she likes girls too.
Oh, you good.
Yeah, my girlfriend's fucking tight.
You're
She's already hooked on something, or am I?
You're stuck. Yank it up. Yank it up. Yeah, you got it.
All right, cool.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd be on this road team. This is like an Olympic sport, right?
They do. They have an Olympic sport. Like I said, the girl I used to date said it was the hardest sport in the world.
But what else has she done?
Just rowing. Just rowing.
What else has she done to compare it to?
And life. You know, she dated me, so that's kind of hard.
Yeah.
You know.
I believe if you're like somebody like us, entertainer, wrestler, you're gonna get a crazy guy. Know what you're signing up for.
You know, I tell them all that too at the beginning. I'm like, dude, I'm crazy.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, I know. And I'm like, nah, you don't, dude.
They don't.
You're not gonna like this in a little bit.
2 years later, like, what the fuck? Bitch, I warned you.
Yeah, I was like this at the beginning.
But after the thrill run wears off, after they've, been to all the comedy clubs and you've been out of town every weekend, then it's like, I need someone that's more at home. Well, go date somebody that works a 9 to 5.
Yeah, that's a fact. I get it. Part of the reason why I don't like being in relationships is it's like, dude, like, I'm gone all the time, you know? And then if they try to go to all the shows, well, it's not cost effective. It's cost effective for me to go because I make money, you know? So it'd be nice to have your significant other at every show you do, right?
I get tired of that.
Yeah, me too, because then it's work, traveling. Dude,
and just putting up with a girl.
Dude, it's a system. I know how to get through an airport, in, out, like the wind, check in, do my thing. I know what I'm doing, where to go.
They need to stop at Starbucks, bathroom.
Egg bites, dude. Dude, you don't need what? I haven't eaten yet today. Come on, dude. We're on the clock.
Eat on the plane.
And that's the other thing too. I think when we go on the road, it's work.
Yeah.
A lot of people look at like, oh, you're traveling,
Yeah.
vacation. It's like, dude, I'm not trying to go to. I don't know. I don't go sightseeing every time. Most of the time, if I don't have extra time, I go right to the show, do my job, go right to the hotel, shower, sleep a little, airport, back to another show.
Factual, bro.
Yeah.
They don't get it.
People don't get it. They think we're just living like superstars, And we are, but it's a lot of travel. It's a lot of work.
Where's that gator when we need him? Just swim over there.
Yeah, I don't know why they powwowed here. They might know who you are, though.
No, they know you.
Dude, we're fishing. You have a show about fishing.
You think any of those chicks want to hear me talk about trans people or gay people?
No, probably not.
Exactly. They're not fans.
But I do, no.
They're not fans.
Yeah, you're right.
Those chicks are all about BLM, egg whites, gluten-free muffins.
Oh man, I'm so glad I came here today.
That's what they all about.
Fuck.
I guarantee you somebody got on some BLM underwear right now.
That would that probably exists.
No, I guarantee you it does. And they probably only sell it to white women.
Dude, and they probably think it's a flex.
Look at these BLM underwear. I'll be like, bitch, get out of here. I wear these for you. Fuck out of here.
Oh man.
Get your dumb ass out of here. You should start a podcast, bro. Just call it bro.
Funny enough, I have all the equipment. I have an office. I have all the tools.
You just being lazy.
Just lazy as shit. But it's also, the 5 kids, working out, teaching, doing it. There's a lot, So, and if I start doing it, I want to do it and be committed, be consistent. Because even with what we do, everything, it's consistency that really pays off, Like you said, one joke isn't going to make your career. You got to have a plethora the jokes.
Yeah, musicians, they got it a little easier, bro. They get to make an album, then go tour on that album.
Yeah,
We make an album, drop it, and then they want to see some new shit. Yeah, bro. Tell the people where they can find you. We about to get ready to get out of here.
Yeah, I love it. You can find me on Instagram, Riddle Bro, and on Twitter at the Super King of Bros. And if you like professional wrestling, or if you're into the cannabis culture, you know, I also judge cannabis cups, and I'm always wrestling somewhere. This weekend in Atlanta, but the following weekend somewhere else in Australia and if you're watching, I'll probably be in your neck of the woods one day soon. So
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Matthew Riddle,
thanks for having me, bro.
Hell yeah. This has been another episode of Fishing with David Lucas. Shout out to your boy. I'll see y'all soon. Catch me on tour. Tour dates at davidlucascomedy.com.